As India braces for one of the hottest summers on record, the spotlight turns to an unsung but critical pillars of our supply chain, the cold chain. From farm produce to pharmaceuticals, dairy to diagnostics, the need for resilient and responsive temperature control logistics has never been more urgent. Welcome to Cold Chain Changemakers, a special video series by Logistics Insider where we go beyond the headlines to bring you face face with the visionaries, experts, the frontline problem solvers who are redefining India's cold chain narrative. In each episode, we speak to those who are not just identifying gaps, but bridging them with innovation, grit, and scalable solutions. Whether it's revolutionizing packaging, enhancing multimodal efficiency, or leveraging data for smarter cold chain visibility. These are stories that inspire progress. In today's episode, we sit down with Tarun Goyal, CEO at GK Cold Chain Solutions. They are an end-to-end service provider offering a range of service to the cold chain industry. Mr. Goyal has been part of companies like DP World, Stellar Value Chain, SIBA, and a lot more. And he comes with a lot of expertise. So I'm very excited for this conversation. And without any further ado, let's dive in. How are you, Tarun, sir?
I'm very fine, Tarek. Thank you so much and very aptly described. And thanks for giving us an opportunity to interact like this. I'm sure this will add a lot of value.
Well, pleasure is all ours. So, like I mentioned, we wanted to keep this interview very crisp and very insightful. So, I'll just dive into my first question for you, which is, with your extensive experience leading GK Cold Chain Solutions, how are you leveraging cutting edge technologies like IoT or data analytics and the likes to enhance transparency and efficiency in the food supply chain, ensuring quality for perishable goods?
See, at GK Cold Chain Solutions, technology is a way of life. And, even overall in cold chain supply chain, transparency is absolutely essential. There is no escaping that. Okay, so for us, yes, we use all kinds of cutting edge technologies. We use IoT. Okay, we use IoT for monitoring. We use IoT for data capturing, and the data which gets emitted from there, our analytical team takes over, and they get into all kinds of permutations, combinations, analysis, and they churn out various inputs for us, which help us in improving every day. Okay, so GK, I'll tell you, is a company with a very old footprint in the industry, very long-standing footprint. But we are a company, we take pride in saying that we are very youthful in approach. All right.
Right.
Somebody like me with almost 3.5 decades behind him, okay, that is 34, 35 years, I still, put on the hat of a 24-year-old and I try to think like that. Because a youthful exuberance is required here in cold chain. That is where the technology gets used, wherein we use various kinds of innovative solutions in it. Okay. Further, Tariq, we deal with perishables. We deal with edibles. So responsibility of transparency and quality goes further up. Then now of late we deal with quick commerce. Okay, with quick commerce coming in, the responsibility benchmarks have gone up by several notches because the expectations have gone up. The company is thinking on its feet, and the expectations have gone up. So that is why, yes, we are using all kinds of technologies. We're doing that, and data is something which is critical to us. We are leveraging it to the fullest. Yeah.
Sure, sure. So, given India's unique challenges with food spoilage and logistics, so in that regard, what innovative solutions have you taken, and what innovative solutions have you introduced in your company to reduce wastage and strengthen the cold chain infrastructure, particularly for the food industry?
Right. So see, we the biggest challenge in cold chain logistics, okay, is particularly, various different kinds of temperature requirements as far as transshipment of food is concerned. Okay,
Right.
for this we cracked it up by a very simple solution of introducing multi-temperatured vehicles in a big way. Okay, we have a lot of multi-temperatured vehicles which we're using for food supply chain, which can carry the same vehicle can carry different temperatures and all. Plus, further onto it, see, one problem is a lack of education, which we are addressing. Of course, we have regular trainings not only for our
Yeah.
team, for outsiders also. Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, we have the capability of installing mobile warehouses at remote sites, which can be
Okay.
temporary warehouses. Say, example, a farmer needs support for 4 months, okay, but he does
Mhm.
not want to erect something, or he does not have enough resources to bring
Something
his material
permanent.
to a warehouse. So we can give him a warehouse on his site, provided there is a electricity availability over there, which is there now in most of the places. Okay, we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
give him a small warehouse at his site, store it, and as and when the requirement gets over, we can lift it back. Okay, so all those
Okay.
things we're doing. See, it's a phase in India today wherein every day a new idea comes, and every day
Right.
something or the other new gets implemented. Right. So
True.
that's what we're doing it. So we are trying our best. We putting in our might to restrict the food spoilage in a
Fine.
big way, because food getting spoiled is something which is absolutely avoidable. So we
Absolutely.
doing that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Especially in a country like India, where we are, there's still a lot of people go to sleep without food. So
Yes.
if we can,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
we can even to some extent, if we can we can prevent the food spoilage. I think we would go a long way in that regard.
Correct, Tariq. You would not have the time now, but you will be surprised at the feedbacks and interactions when we start interacting with farmers and all, and when we start supporting him. The way they get overwhelmed and the way the things come out at that point of time is something which
Yeah,
probably would need another level of discussion
I'm
in
sure.
some
I'm
of the
sure. I'm
forum.
sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
because a lot of things come out of it. So you are right. In India, a lot of sensitivity is still prevail, and all of us see one GK cold chain alone cannot address it, and a lot of companies have to join hands and do it. And I'm happy to say that a lot of companies are coming forward and doing it.
Mhm.
So I would
Yeah.
not say that we are doing something which is very unique. A lot
No,
of other players
absolutely.
are also doing it, I
Absolutely,
believe.
absolutely. I think the whole the cold chain industry and the companies who are in the cold chain ecosystem, they cannot be in silos. They have to work in a collaborative
Yeah,
approach, and that's the
absolutely,
only way.
absolutely. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So given when we are talking about all these, I think sustainability is another crucial aspect that comes into logistics. So I would want to know from you how GK Cold Chain Solutions is balancing the demand for reliable cold chain services with eco-friendly practices to support a greener food supply chain.
See, again, that is something wherein there is no choice. One has to practice all these things. See, to
Yeah.
start with, we've started using solar energy at most of our locations. Right?
Okay.
We do that. Okay.
Hmm.
Then our gensets and all the heavy duty gensets and all, we try and run them on CNG. Okay, that
Okay.
reduces the diesel consumption, and it contains the pollution.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
then we have very regular trainings. Okay,
Hmm.
then for smaller deliveries and all, we try using PCM bags. Okay,
Oh,
which,
okay.
which, which, which can maintain temperature up to a certain amount of time.
Okay.
So instead of a truck going all the way, burning fuel and polluting the
Hmm.
environment, and
Yeah.
it is better to use a small PCA box and get the deliveries done. Okay,
Right.
so all in all, we are also very conscious of the carbon footprint, and
Right.
we do everything possible, to restrict it and to maintain our contribution to it. So
Right.
these are regular features. I mean, they are no longer in our company, at least they are no longer taken as something which we may do on an occasion. These are regular things. So
Okay.
and it is happening.
I think being sustainable in the cold chain industry also is a win-win for both the for the environment and also for the company as well, because I mean in cold chain the power consumption is so high and it's so outrageous sometimes, especially when there is peak summer like the peak summer temperatures. I think uses of alternative fuels and uses of alternative sources of energy. I think they would certainly be beneficial for the environment and for the company as well.
Correct. See, the myth about cold chain has long been shattered now. Now people
Yeah.
understand that it is a field which is closest to the mother nature.
Mm-hmm.
See, we help in the food wastage controlling. We
Yeah.
do our bit for environment. So all these things are happening regularly. Okay,
Hmm.
and the industry dependence on cold chain is going up by leaps and bounds. Okay,
Yeah.
today I can say with confidence that if Tariq goes out and eats something in the market, there is every possibility that it could have come out of cold chain. Whether
Yeah.
you realize it or you don't realize it,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
but there's every possibility that if you consume something, some edible, which you find is of very good quality
Yeah.
or something, there would be a cold chain company behind it.
Absolutely. The
So, so,
chances are
so
very high.
yeah,
Yeah.
come a long way now.
Yes. You have already mentioned about one instance where we have talked about erecting these temporary cold storages for farmers. I would like to understand if is there any such specific example of that you would like to share about how GK cold chain solutions successfully addressed any complex challenge in food logistics particularly, and what insights from their experience could inspire the industry at large.
See, as I've already explained, I mean, there are a few things which could be done.
Yeah.
Installation of a mobile kind of a warehouse is one such instance which could be
Yeah.
done. But otherwise, also see, we've been using technology in everything which we do. Okay, we are dealing into edibles. We are dealing.
Yeah.
A cold chain also deals into pharmaceuticals, which
Right.
increases the responsibility in a very big way. Any
Oh yeah.
compromise on edibles is something which can be fatal. Okay, I'll tell you the evaluation has been complete. I
Mm-hmm.
worked in a company in cold chain. I would not, of course, be taking any
Yeah. Yeah.
names out here. Say around 2010, 15 years
Yeah.
back. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in that company, we were storing a product by the name of Tiffany chocolate, if you've heard it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now those chocolates at that point of time were all coming from outside, getting stored and getting distributed.
Mm-hmm.
So coming in was fine, getting stored in a warehouse was fine. Okay,
Yeah.
but when they used to go out from a warehouse, they were normally going in ambient trucks. Okay,
Okay.
so as a responsible cold chain professional, I had raised my objections to the customer that boss, this is not done. I mean, why are you sending them like that? You're compromising on the
Yeah.
temperature.
Yeah.
Okay, the approach at that point of time, and probably it worked at that point of time. It does not work today because people are more conscious about it. Was that
True.
Tiffany as a product in India? Not too many people are aware of that
Aware
taste.
of. Yeah.
So it can withstand a little bit of a compromise. It will still sell as good. Now selling
Yeah.
is not the only objective. Selling is not the see. We
Yeah.
discontinued that customer. After that,
Okay.
I put it up to the management and we took them out. Okay,
Okay.
we did not we stopped dealing with them. Right, but at the same time, selling is not the only important thing. The important
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
is in maintaining the integrity, quality.
Right.
Today the successful QSRs in India, okay,
Mm-hmm.
there are a handful of them. Okay, you will find two categories of QSRs. Just to explain my point, I'll tell you. Okay,
Yeah.
quick serving restaurants, you will find two categories. In one particular category, whether you eat food at Mumbai or you eat at Chennai or you eat at Calcutta,
Mm-hmm.
you will get
Right.
exactly the same taste. You know that the
Okay.
cold chain has got this thing. Another very successful QSR. Whether you
Hmm.
eat, if you're from Mumbai, whether you eat food at Phoenix Parel, or you eat
Okay.
at Jharkhand, okay, or you eat at Vashi, or you eat at Thane, all four places will serve you same product with a different
Same
taste.
product.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you understand? I mean, where the quality impact starts showing.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so which is which is which, and which is which not, is something which I leave up to people who eat in QSRs to understand. I am nobody to name anybody
Yeah.
out here. Okay,
Yeah.
but at the same time, quality cold chain is a responsibility. Okay, and what others can learn from us is, see, we do very stable kind of a work. Okay,
Yeah.
we don't get into a very flamboyant kind of a activity. You know, we don't bite more than what we can chew. Okay, whatever
Okay.
is our capacity, we do that. That is why we've got some of the biggest brands in the industry trusting us, and we are able to hold them for years with us. Okay, so it is something which, yes, people can take from us. People can take a lesson out of it. Okay,
Hmm.
being one of the company with the oldest footprint in the industry, it is also a responsibility for us to set examples for others, which we try to do every time. Okay, so
Right.
these are something which we definitely do. And now, in cold chain, the other thing which has come is, see, we talked about quick commerce. Okay,
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
even ice cream, if you want to have, you are not going to the parlor. You are ordering it on your phone, and it is getting delivered to you. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
now ice cream is again something which is straight away edible, which will go inside. Okay, now maintaining temperature integrity in these things again is a big responsibility for a consumer. It is just a very sweet tasting ice cream, but for a
Yeah.
cold chain service provider which is handling it, it is a big responsibility that he has to get it there with temperature integrity intact. Okay, so yes, people can look at us how we are doing it and learn.
Hmm.
Similarly, we also look at a lot of other companies and all, and we also pick up whatever is there, because it is a very symbiotic kind of a relationship, a mutual coexistence, wherein
Yeah.
we also look at industry best practices and we imbibe them. See, the mindset in cold chain has to be of, as I said, of youngsters who can imbibe the right thing, and then the maturity of grown-ups has to come in, and the combination of the two works like an orchestra. So that is what
Yeah.
happens in cold chain, you know.
No, very rightly
That's
put,
what,
sir.
yeah.
Very rightly put. And I think you know you mentioned about a brand called Tiffany. I think they would have stringent quality controls in place, but if if because of a lack of policies or SOPs in place, I think the quality could be drastically affected if the
Yeah.
cold chains are not intact, and if even one leg of the cold chain is not working how it should be. So I think yes, cold chains in fact could make or break a brand's
Yeah,
reputation
yeah,
in
absolutely,
India.
absolutely. See, for a common consumer, he may not even make out, that one leg was compromised. So
Yeah.
people like us who deal with it every day in, day out, can take a look and straight away comment which leg was compromised, because it
Right.
is our job, we do it every day. Okay, but a common consumer may or may not even be able to make out. Okay, but
Yes.
then that adds to the responsibility. You cannot allow that to happen. You
Yeah.
carry that responsibility.
No, no, absolutely. As a responsible cold chain company, I think it's imperative, and I'm very happy and to hear that cold chain companies like yourself are taking this very seriously, and uh, I think it shows how India's cold chain sector is heading, and I think we are in the right hands. So I think
Absolutely.
that calls for any final words you wanted to say.
No, no. I mean, it's just that, see, the time has come because the Indians are becoming more and more aware. Okay, and I give a lot of credit to the youngsters. They're coming up. Okay, I also, as an opportunist in a cold chain business, today's lifestyle is such that it is fueling cold chain like never before. People come
Absolutely,
home
yeah.
in the middle of the night, the techies and all those things. They are hungry. what do they rely upon? They rely upon a cold chain service provider picking up a parcel from a QSR and delivering it to them.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so so all those things are opening opportunities for us, and the youngsters with their education, their mindset, their awareness, and
Yeah.
the sharp-wittedness are understanding the importance of temperature integrity and the cold chain. So things are evolving, and the future belongs to us. The cold chain will go from strength to strength from here. I as a CEO of a company am very confident about it.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that. And well, with that, I think we can conclude this interview on a very high note. I think on a very positive note. And it was a great pleasure to speak to you. And as always, we look forward to speaking to you in other forums. And thank you so much for taking out the time for this conversation.
Absolutely, my pleasure, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. Okay. Good day. Bye bye.